If you've been creating a lot of videos for YouTube and you just don't seem to be getting the traction you want, your videos might not be that interesting.
Ooh. Today we're gonna talk about
how to make your talking head videos more interesting. First, you should clean your lens.
every single time. It's like, I don't even know where all of this comes from.
That looks like a nose print.
It might very well be a nose print. Seems like every single time we come to use this, it's like, how did all this debris get on here?
It's probably a booger smear.
So we've been traveling full-time since April 2017. When we first started our YouTube channel, we were just a bunch of talking heads.
We didn't understand why our videos weren't getting a lot of views or traction, why nobody was commenting. It didn't make sense. So we reached out to some pros, and what we discovered was Be Adventure Partners was more like Be Boring Partners. So with a lot of coaching and a lot of long hours researching the pros on YouTube, we've got some tips that we want to share with you to help you make your videos more interesting.
And let me tell you what, I wish that we had these tips when we got started, because then we wouldn't have been Be Boring Partners.
At least not for so long. So here we go. Stand up when you talk. This will give you a lot more energy and really a lot more confidence. I find that when I'm sitting and slumping around, my energy is super low. What do you think, Bri?
Absolutely. There's something about standing up and being upright that brings energy. It grounds you down all the way to the ground, and you can come to the camera more open versus being slumped over in a chair. So as you can see, whenever I'm laying down in a lounge or sitting in a chair, I might not have the best posture. It might promote a little double chin, like if you could look underneath the beard here and push away the beard, you get a double chin and the posture's just not so great, and the energy just doesn't really come to the table with what you're really wanting to portray, most likely. The next tip is using the classic walk and talk. This is where you've got the camera out in front of you, and it's a really great way to engage with the audience. And if you're doing a tour or you're going on an expedition or something, this is a cool way to show what's going on around you and giving people perspective.
Yep, just be careful for debris on your pathway. Something else that looks really cool is walking and talking with a friend filming you. If you can get a friend to film you, your adventure partner, or whoever you do your YouTube channel with, it's gonna look a lot more interesting if you get someone to film you.
Exactly. It gives a completely different perspective, especially when your adventure partner is 5'1" and 3/4 inch, and I'm about 6'2". Another option is approach the camera from really weird angles.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just make sure that you can actually reach the camera from where you put it.
And wherever you put it in a safe location. Like if you're putting it on a railing, make sure that it doesn't fall off of the railing and potentially plummet thousands of feet to its death.
Yeah, that's why we like to use the Jobby Gorilla Pod, I think it's called.
Yep.
Because this thing is so strong and sturdy for our Canon 80D. Before we had just like a regular Jobby, and our camera would always fall over. So you want to make sure that you have the right equipment set up together. If you're just using a phone or something, a little Gorilla Pod or small Jobby works really well.
And we'll go ahead and link to this Jobby down in the description.
A good habit to get into, shoot a lot of B-roll. You're gonna need it to splice in between things, to lay over a lot of talking head stuff. B-roll is always super handy and helps people understand where you are and what you're talking about.
Next up is playing with fun transitions. Now this first one's called the drop. That's where you start at a higher angle than your subject and drop down to your subject, or you can start on your subject and drop down off of them.
Next up is the whip. Similar to the drop, you can start off the side and whip over to your subject, or you can start on your subject and then whip off, like this. This next transition's called the teleporter. This is where you go stealthily from one location to another. Let's go. Ready?
Oh yeah.
Here we go! That was fun.
So as you can see, there's many of different ways to add more interesting stuff to your videos so that people stay to watch longer.
Yeah, if you apply just one of those tips to each of your videos, you're going to see people stick around longer, start leaving you comments, and they're really gonna love it. They're gonna wanna hang out with you.
So let us know in the comments which one of these transitions you're gonna use in your next video. We'd love to know. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and click subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every single time we release a brand new video that can help you make a bigger impact in the world and be where you want, when you want.
Until next time, friends.
Adventure on.
Adventure on. Lots of love.
Bye.
But you don't put your hand in gecko poop.
All right, walk this way. Is that funny?
That's funny. I always think the slap is kind of an interesting one too.
Slap it. Also known as the slap whip.